You don't
Like,
need to see nothing.
Why do we always got the mayor up front?
I know,
That's Lindsay.
all right now. You gotta show back up the waypoint. Ah,
Mark?
Hey, Mark.
You got an extra-
yeah.
you got an extra pen? See that?
No, I did not.
Your memory failing, you don't have something to write down notes?
He
Give
kept
note
it.
notes, hard.
Where do I find one of those?
Thank you, sir.
Right here, Mark.
Awesome, thank you.
Seems like I haven't seen you in a long time, man.
Well, you guys haven't invited me.
Yeah, we
You
just
don't call,
started
You don't
this.
write, you don't drop in.
We just started this,
I'm just saying, I got my south side chip on the shoulder, man. It doesn't wash off. All right. Everybody in? Yep, all right. We'll get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We will get right to, sorry. David, are you with us? David Velasco?
Yes, I am.
Welcome, David. Just to let everybody know that David is taking over for John Yang, who is no longer with DNS. And so he will be our support on DNS inquiry. So
We're in trouble.
welcome and thank you, David.
Look forward to working with you, David.
Glad to see you guys again.
I don't miss you.
All right. Get that out of the way. All right. First property, 2848 West Wisconsin. Let's get to this. There we go. 2848 calls for service.
Hi, I'm having a little difficulties. One sec. Sorry, Asia's in the room with me, so we had a little technical difficulties and I'm having trouble hearing right now. I don't know why. But I'm at, for 2848, we had one troubled subject and one 911 abuse for a total of 2 nuisance eligible calls.
And David, did you get the list of properties to run?
Yes, I did. On this particular address, there is odors exterior.
Thank you. 730 North 29th Street. Calls for service.
For 730 North 29th Street, we had 0 calls for nuisanceable calls.
DNS.
There's a current complaint for interior issues.
Okay. 835 North 23rd Street, calls for service.
For 835 North 23rd Street, we had 0 nuisanceable calls.
We have interior odors, exterior odors, and a new complaint for interior.
Anybody here with Jamela Properties today? $3345 West Highland Boulevard, calls for service.
For 3345 West Highland Boulevard, we had a troublous subject for a total of 1 nuisanceable call.
DNS.
We have 2 complaints for interior and 1 current order.
What was the last one, David? I'm sorry.
A current order for, there's current orders on it also.
Next property, 1143 North 29th. Calls for service.
For 1143 North 29th Street, we had one trouble subject, one battery, one theft for a total of 3 nuisance eligible calls.
DNS.
Yeah, we have 3 new complaints, one for no heat interior and garbage, and also a current order for interior and exterior.
So,
Building is for sale for 50,000 a unit.
that one at 29.
Nice. Maybe it doesn't. That's cheap.
Bulldozer. Not.
Interior. 2809 West Highland Boulevard. Calls for service.
For 2809 West Highland Boulevard, we had a total of 4 troubled subjects, 2 noise nuisances, an entry, a theft, for a total of 8 nuisanceable calls.
How many did we have last month?
2809. 2, reckless use of a weapon and unarmed robbery.
What else?
So with that many calls, is this something now that is, you guys are putting together to send a letter to the owners, or where, you know, where we stand on anything like that?
I did send an owner letter. I haven't heard back yet, but after I saw that many calls, I did send an owner letter, and I'll be trying to get in touch with them. And if we can't work with the owners, then we can explore other options, but we usually try to at least give that owner that chance to respond back to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is anybody here with Smart Assets today?
This is Braden. I am here. So I'll, David or Joseph, who manages the building and the area, isn't here today. We're trying to add to our team in that area. It's hard for him and 2 guys on his team to be everywhere at once. So we're trying to hire more, and I think we just got video cameras set back up over here, but I'll need to double check that.
Okay, are you aware of any receipt of a letter from MPD yet?
Nope, I'll be checking into that as well.
Bobby?
Braden, I believe last month, it was stated that you guys had a few evictions that you were following up on. Have you followed up on any evictions, or do you have any evictions in the queue?
In this specific building or just in general?
No, in that specific building.
I will look into the specifics. Our lawyer should be back here in about 20 minutes, and I'll talk to him, and then I can send you an email to follow up.
Thank you.
DNS?
Yes, there's interior odors.
David,
I'll look into
is
those and-
there a number?
Just one.
Just one. Thank you.
Hi, Braden.
Yep.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
No. Oh, they can. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, we're having technical difficulties over here. Braden, I was wondering, and I think I may have missed it. Did you say you were the property owner, manager, or lawyer?
I work with the management company,
Okay.
so I work with Smart Asset.
Thank you very much.
All right, move on to the next property, 3120, 3128 West Wisconsin. Calls for service.
For 3120 West Wisconsin, we had one trouble subject for a total of one nuisance eligible call. And then for 3128 West Wisconsin, there was a property damage for a total of one nuisance eligible call.
DNS,
Yeah, we have 2 current complaints and 1 order for interior.
I'll look into the interior order. I think I heard it was mailboxes, which we just replaced them all and they got destroyed again. But if there's something else, I'll get that printed out and get it over to the maintenance team right away. As far as the building, that's another one that Joseph and his team manages. So I know conversation about getting cameras over there is still in place. It's just a large building with a lot of activity, unfortunately.
right. Okay, thank you. 2904 West Wisconsin, calls for service.
For 2904 West Wisconsin, we had 2 trouble subjects and 1 battery for a total of 3 nuisance eligible calls.
And DNS,
Yes, 1 current order for interior.
next property, 3006 West Highland Boulevard, calls for service.
For 3006 West Highland Boulevard, we had 1 trouble with subject, 1 theft, and 1 reckless use for a total of 3 nuisance eligible calls.
DNS has 2 orders, 1 exterior and 1 interior.
Excuse me, Kim, which address was that?
3006 West
Okay.
Highland.
Okay.
So the last one, officer, was reckless use of a weapon.
Yep.
Right. All right. Next property, 2816 West McKinley Boulevard. Calls,
And 2816 West McKinley Boulevard, we had 0 nuisance eligible calls.
DNS has 3 orders, 2 exterior, 1 interior, and a referral to a contractor because they didn't pick up on that garbage that they got an order for.
okay,
Ken, I was contacted by Ogden saying that they no longer manage that property. It has been given back. I'm not sure if receivership has ended. Maybe Mark has some information on that. But a number of the properties are not under Ogden control anymore through receivership. Yeah.
All those were given back in Yakub, Muhammad Yakub.
Yeah.
All his properties were given back. And that was one of his properties. The city owns it. The city owns it now.
Okay.
The city took all of Muhammad Yakub's properties that were Ogden was managing, and the city took ownership of it.
okay, we'll get confirmation on that. Thank you. 3304 West McKinley Boulevard, calls for service.
For 3304 West McKinley Boulevard, we had a total of 0 nuisance eligible calls.
DNS has no orders.
I also received a call from the owner of the property. They are entertaining selling the property now.
We know why it made the list.
The Cold Spring neighborhood, this is one of the houses that was part of Cold Spring. Different houses create problems in the neighborhood.
Okay, okay.
And
I think I could hear Dwayne, but he reported we got that from a neighborhood meeting that we attended. A couple of these were from the neighborhood. They said that these properties were causing issues.
Got it.
Bobby, are they looking for any assistance, helping to find a new buyer? Because I'm sure there are plenty of people who would love to snatch that up.
And actually, Lindsay, I will give her your number.
Okay, thank you. 1233, 1235, North 33rd.
All right, for 1233 North 33rd Street, we had a 911 abuse for a total of 1 nuisance eligible call, and then 1235 North 33rd Street, there was 0 nuisance eligible calls.
GNS?
Orders for exterior,
Thank you. 508-510 North 29th Street. Calls for service.
There was a total of 0 calls for either of the addresses.
DNS, no orders.
Seven 61 North 29th Street. Calls for service.
0 nuisance eligible calls.
DNS, no orders.
Okay, Kelly, just want to, I don't know if you heard Lucas whisper, but he said there's still drug dealing going on over there, and Dwayne confirmed the same as well. Just so
But
you-
this one, the 761 North 29.
Yes. Next property, 433 North 29th Street, calls for service.
433 North 29th had 0 nuisance eligible calls.
Also no orders.
And last property, 420 North 29th Street, calls for service.
420 North 29th also has 0 calls for service.
No
Yeah.
orders also.
All right. Are there any other nuisance properties we need to, residential properties we need to either discuss or add for next month? Anything new? Nothing, Bobby?
No,
Complaints?
I haven't heard anything since our pre-landlord compact meeting as far as new properties.
This is Braden with Smart Asset. I apologize, I got here a few minutes late. I think some of the properties that I caught when I first jumped on were under Juno Gardens. If that's correct, could you give me those addresses again? Because I think we may have just took on management.
I didn't quite.
He believes he took on management for the properties listed as Juno Gardens.
1143 North 29th Street.
Okay, I do not have that one. Thank you.
Welcome.
You caught a break.
Yeah.
For once.
Kelly, MPD, I just wanted to bring up, looks like one other consistent property with consistent calls for service would be that 3006 West Highland. Is there anything with this property being addressed by letter or?
I did not send an owner letter to 3006 West Highland. I can send an owner letter regarding the calls for service and just reaching out to them.
Okay. Yeah, would we have couple threats, couple batteries last month, and then now.
The building is, it's transitional living. And they're under contract for 5 years with whoever, the state or whatever, and they got their hands full. They're trying to address the issues now by doing evictions on quite a few people, but they know they have a problem. Mario Barnes is the manager.
Well, hopefully that means they'll want to work with us, Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they keep their program, keep that money coming in. All right, perfect. Thank you. With that, then we'll go right to the commercial properties. We'll start off with 901 North 27th Street.
We have zero nuisance eligible calls.
Also no orders.
2903 West CLYBOURN.
I have zero nuisance eligible calls for 2903 West CLYBOURN.
Eunice.
I'll get back to you
Yep.
on this. We can go forward.
Did the park open up? It did?
Well, it's not open,
but they
had the groundbreaking.
Oh.
All activity has moved from the corner store now up to those two houses, those two duplexes or single families or whatever they are on 29th Street, 400 block. What is that,
That's
433?
north of Clybourn?
Yeah, 420 and 433.
Yeah,
Those two houses are keeping up all activity over there now.
and they've been standing in front of the old MPI building, right there in the corner too.
I still say there's somebody living upstairs above that MPI building. There's
I
no
think it is
electrical
too.
boxes, but the windows are open and I see activity upstairs. I think they're going in through the back.
Yeah,
not
it's
to
a
the
side,
front.
it's a side door, I believe.
Let's give David the address that we come up with that last.
All right, 2903, there is no orders.
Thank you.
If the activity is moved to the 43 and 4020 North 29th Street, can you encourage people to call? Because without nuisance eligible calls, there's not a whole lot we can do with the properties. I can still reach out to the owners, but to have those calls coming in would be really helpful.
Right. I don't know if we can do
Yeah, what we
talk and talk with all the neighbors, handing out pamphlets and introducing.
Yeah, and that's something that I was working with the store owner, and the store owner has been cooperative. He has since had a conversation with the alderman, and he knows that there is pressure on him. And yes, they moved up the street, and that's a kind of a good thing from his perspective. But now we have to kind of reinvent who do we talk to over there, because on that side of the street, when you just head north of CLYBOURN, it gets a little fuzzy with residents that that you can talk to. But we definitely will try it. We'll try it.
Majority of the residents over in that area, they all are going together, so. imagine what the uniforms that come.
No.
Yeah.
You don't call on drug dealers if they're doing drugs.
So the address is either going to be, David, this is for you. It's either going to be 2820 or 2824. Yeah, 2822 West CLYBOURN. Looks like there's people living upstairs,
No electrical.
but there's no electrical meters to the building.
All right, I'll put in a referral. So
Thank
we have
you.
it at, we have it at 2820, 2822, and 2824, correct?
Well, the old MPI management address comes up as 2822. But I think they had all of that building originally.
All right, I'll check when it comes with the tax key, I'll get the addresses.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. 930 North 27th Street.
For 930 North 27th Street, we had 2 troubled subjects, a subject with gun and a subject with weapon, for a total of 4 nuisance eligible calls.
Family Dollar, you go by there, they act like it's the AutoZone. They're out there working on cars in the parking lot. There's people out drinking, just loitering consistently 10 to 15 people every day. Family Dollar said it's Wendy's. Wendy says it's Family Dollar, but they just sit out there in the parking lot. Nobody does anything about it.
We were just in there today. I know they out there selling socks. The security guard is out there
Right
with
with
the
'em.
people.
Right
Yeah.
with 'em.
Is there anybody here with Family Dollar, or do we have any update on Family Dollar court case? On what's next for that?
I don't have any information on what's next. The last that I heard was that the judge upheld their license being suspended. So I think they have another, yeah, I think they filed a,
It's like Kelly has
injunction.
some-
Kelly,
yeah.
They are appealing, and while the appeal is being heard, I believe they put the original lower court ruling on hold. So that was last I checked. I can check for another update, and then the appeals process will take some time.
okay, if you could check for our next meeting, which would be the last of the year, so just so we have an update.
I guess in the meantime too, knowing that this isn't a problem that necessarily will go away. We have photos and stuff, if we're continuing to
I
keep
got photos.
a log of everything that's happening. So that in the event that we end up back before committee, we can share that information.
Can I ask a question, Kelly? I mean, calls for service like this, is this being funneled into the judge's eyes during any of this appeal process?
So
That there's-
that's all civil stuff that doesn't involve me at all. That's why I have to give my updates basically from like CCAP or reaching out to the city attorney's office. I'm guessing, and like I said, I don't have anything to do with this process. Right now, they'll only be looking at what was heard in the original court case. So, you know, the circumstances there and everything based on the appeal. I think all of this stuff, like Lindsay said, would be very informative for any upcoming licensing hearings for the city to show what the activity is and what's going on there.
Continued activity, okay. Sounds good, thank you. DNS for Family Dollar?
Yeah, we have, commercial has monthlies on it, so they're going and basically going out there every month and issuing a fine.
Wow. Can't be cheap,
350, 560
really.
for the second, and everyone's at 177.80 for the first.
Yeah, 350, okay. Adds up. 927 North 27th Street. Calls for service.
0 nuisanceable call.
Also, no orders.
I got pictures of people that's loitering in front, sitting on crates, drinking. Yep. They're selling singles out
Well,
of there.
this is 927, this is GARE Bears.
Oh, Gary, sorry about that.
Is anything open? Well, people are still,
They still standing in front of there.
there's still
They
people
got
up
that
in,
little
The
yeah.
bars closed, but the cruise shop and the eyeglass places.
Food places open, okay.
As well as the entrance for the apartments is right there too.
Right, okay. All right, now 959 North 27th Street, the glass joint. Calls for service.
We had 1 trouble with subject for a total of 1 nuisance eligible call.
We have a current complaint for litter and debris.
I'm sorry, David?
There's a current complaint for litter and debris.
Okay,
Dave, they got green boards, city boards on the front doors. It's been there for like 2 months. How long does it take before they come on?
I'll refer this to commercial since it's a commercial building.
Yeah, they was recently broken into again.
thank you. All right, 914 North 27th Street, Wednesdays, calls for service.
I didn't have 914 North 27th Street on my list, so give me just 1 sec.
And to, while she's looking up, I want to, the people are being split apart from that, you know, that little sitting area.
Mhm.
And it's people that sit on, back on the Wendy side of the gate. It's somebody over there calling shots to tell the drunks to not sit there. So they have a feud back and forth of who can sit in what area right there. It's been a couple fights that I personally seen. And I seen police over there late at night, showing people away, so. It's like a few going on, I guess. It's like.
David, do you have anything for 914?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
We have 0 nuisance eligible calls for 914.
Any other commercial properties we need to add? Do we have any additional topics? Bring up anything new?
The building that you got, the one that's right here on the corner.
S2 real estate or smart at whatever, yeah, 507. 507, 519.
These two guys right here are cutting their bushes down. See, and then they're carting it and throwing it up in the alley of,
Oh, Pettibone?
no, in the alley of, Ray. He's got a push cart. I got him. From the corner house.
And then,
They're cutting it down. They're cutting down all the underbrush and then they're taking across and throwing it in the Ray parking lot.
All right.
Hey, David, I will be giving you a call later. It's
Once you
about
get the
an
picture.
address. A resident came to us complaining about their living conditions. And I told them that I will get their information over to you. So I'll probably email it to you or just give you a call and give you the information.
Okay,
And guys, looking at the Family Dollar court record, it is like I said, that motion for stay pending appeal was granted in the circuit court. The next hearing isn't until March 14th, 2022. And then it looks like the appeal is officially kind of started to be filed mid-September. And I'll look into the appeal record, but those take some time. I had a case of mine that was being appealed and that took several months. So.
Okay. All right, thank you for that update.
Could I just ask, does anybody have an update on the that lot that's east of Wendy's where we had the mobile trailers for a while?
Yes, I do. I've been in contact with the owner. He submitted a plan to the Near West Side Partners as to what he would like to do with it. We requested that we walk through with DNS to make sure that he's in full compliance as of right now before we move forward and look at his plans, but he has been cooperative and he's willing to work with us. David has now replaced John. So now I know who I can contact to see if we can schedule a walkthrough to make sure that the lot is in compliance.
Thank you, Bobby.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
This is Larry Liss. I'm calling about shots fired on 27th near the Family Dollar on Tuesday around 1:30. There was a car chase that involved reckless cars driving and numerous gunshots. There were bullets flying all over the place. I don't know if anybody was aware of that, but.
Just a couple days ago?
Huh? Yeah, Tuesday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, this report would have been from last week, so nothing would be current. We're always going to be about 7 days behind the last time these calls for services were run, Larry. But thanks for letting us know. We'll follow up with that.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. What do we got? Resident engagement, important, take a survey. Okay, our numbers. All right, next month will be our last meeting of the year, November 11th at 1 o'clock. Same place. Again, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us and participate in the compact. Without everybody's support, we obviously can't make it. So thank you. Have a great day and we'll see you next month.